So now we're back with Emma Jacomet's second episode when those guys are back from their digress.
Trip in Paris.
Yeah, trip to Paris and back. I don't know, was it the Paris in France or was it Paris in United States? Because they also have a bunch of Paris up there. So we are back. It's the second episode with Emma Jacomet. Stay tuned because it will be a lot of menswear stuff, a lot of different other stuff. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
But how is it in Paris then? How you could describe it?
Well, in Paris is a little bit a jungle, I have to say, of so many, because also it's the fashion, kind of like the fashion capital.
Is it like in those American Hollywood movies? Scarves.
What's the Netflix show? Emily in Paris.
Oh, Emily in Paris. Yeah. We all have a little bit the ick with that, obviously, Parisians. But yeah.
You're triggered right now.
A little bit triggered. Can you see my eye twitching?
But there's a lot of stereotypes.
Yeah, a lot of stereotypes. But I would say that if you really...
It's like science fiction, this TV show.
Exactly.
A little bit, yeah. But, well, actually, okay, so I'm going to answer this question because it's a very complex question because it has to do with a lot of societal... how the society is evolving and stuff. So I think it's almost sociology.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a little bit difficult to answer that. So I will answer it as a Parisian living in the north now, in the Netherlands. How people see actually the Parisian style. So we are more Parisians, especially women, I find. We are more into simplicity, but the simplicity is very elegant. So, for example, because I always have my nails done and I always have my eyebrows done. That's the two things that I will never that will always be done. My nails are or red, dark red, or a French manicure.
Okay.
That's it. My makeup will never be more than what I'm wearing now. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? So, and
that's nice actually.
Yeah, and a dress, like a little black dress, is a little black dress, right? And you can make a few accessories and stuff, but that's elegance. So elegance is quiet. Elegance is subtle. And it doesn't have to be over the top. So I think that's maybe, to answer your question, more like the Parisian flair would be that there is a certain elegance that when I say to people that I'm Parisian, they're like, oh yeah, you have the nails. Yeah, okay, I can see you're Parisian because you're very... you're subtle in the elegance.
Yeah. You just made me realize something actually. That's I always thought I was not really attracted by this Parisian elegance, but actually that's what I'm looking for everywhere I'm going. This quietness, and this grace, and in the simplicity and so on. That's
exactly.
very
true. So is it regular to see men well dressed or in suits in Paris on the streets?
It's a rough environment. That's what she said. Actually, that's
because
it's difficult to dress well in streets.
Your dad is always under a tie and in a shirt and a full suit, not so casual. So is it typical, or he is even like sticking out there?
So it depends in Paris it depends in which area you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're living in the bubble, and when I see guys in Paris on all those events, they are always so fancy.
Yeah. So again, I feel like that's why I was talking about the sociologic kind of side of it, because obviously
I studied sociology.
Really, did you?
Yeah, for 4 years.
There you go. So you understand where I'm coming from. So obviously is what you try to portray from a city. So obviously Paris is the capital of fashion and stuff. And you can see definitely in some areas of Paris, especially the more rich or the more rich areas, like the first district, like the fifth
and the
district.
Safest area.
And then you can see much more men in suits and stuff. As soon as you go away from those areas and you just go in the, the people like just normal working class people, which I am a part of, by the way, because that's also something that we also need to say. It's not because you're wearing suits and you actually have that sensitivity for beautiful wear that you directly are rich and like, no, that's not the point, right? That's a whole other subject as well, very sociologic. But so how it's portrayed is not necessarily how it is lived every day. If you go in certain areas and if you go to certain events, certain bars, then yes, obviously you will see people that are more well dressed. If you are more just walking around in Paris, you'll see everything. It's a little bit of a jungle in Paris, so you'll see everything.
So you like more the Scandinavian look?
Yes,
like in Stockholm.
Absolutely. I love Scandinavia also in many other things. I think that in terms of like quiet elegance, Scandinavia is
very, very quiet, yes.
but you see it in, for example, so me and that comes also a little bit from my dad, like also the sound systems and the you know Bang & Olufsen, for example. Yeah. So it's not necessarily, let's say, the more high tech and stuff, but it is a beautiful sound, and it's about the elegance of the object.
I mean audio equipment.
Yes, about the elegance of the
but
object.
It's all the Scandinavian design, like Volvo.
Yeah, well, you see, but what I mean by that, it's just about the experience and about the. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be
exactly. They make
extravagant.
Also.
Extravagant, yeah. So I do love Scandinavia for that. I do indeed love the Scandinavian style, especially in the winter. I love how people dress. Again, it's probably a stereotype because I don't live here yet. Yeah. But it's so it might be a little bit of a stereotype from my part, but what I can see and what I've been seeing in Sweden, for example, or in Scandinavia, in Iceland, is that people are much more simple in what they wear, but what they wear is quality.
Yeah,
a lot of them, and that is a little bit
and function as well.
It function, yeah. Always. And then, that's the line that you don't want to. You can see French people anywhere in the world when you can see a backpack with Quechua on it, right? That's
It's a brand. It's a sport brand.
A Quechua, but I can also see it in Poland.
Exactly, it's very practical, but not very nice.
Yeah,
but it's like Fjällräven.
Right. Exactly.
It's like they are doing some tricks.
So there is a fine line between practicality and actually elegance and something that is practical but elegant. And I find that the Scandinavians have that line very well. Very well defined in many different areas. So
they dress
like
for their activity.
Yes, and I definitely like that about Scandinavian style for sure. Yeah.
Do you have some favorite current trends? Tailoring trends?
Favorite trends?
Yeah.
Is there real trends?
Yeah,
actually?
Are they really like?
We are still trying to figure that out. To be honest.
Give me some examples.
Yeah, I mean wider trousers, for example, more wider lapels, looser fits.
I do like wider lapels. Like that's something that
Are you more
really
on the Italian style or the English style?
Yeah, I think,
who's more stylish?
Because that's a trend.
Parisian man or Italian man?
That's a very beautiful question, because then it has to do with authenticity and attitude.
Yeah.
And again, that's for me.
Because apparently there is a French tailoring style.
Which
is not so well known, because we know that it's Italian tailoring, British tailoring, and American.
But I feel like you can actually see someone that is Italian and someone that is British in how they are and in their attitude.
Yeah, you can see
the French guy is probably just pouting in the back, So because like there is this saying that French people, or like Italian people, are happy French people, right?
So French people are not happy?
No, well, I mean, Parisians, they're like a little bit like, right, so...
Like Polish, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit, yeah, that's why we vibe.
Yes. You said that Parisian people, they complain.
Oh, yeah.
No, but French people
in general.
We complain a lot.
Yes.
We're just born to complain.
Yeah, too much. That's a problem. We spend our time complaining instead of doing something about it.
Exactly. And so back to the fact that what I said earlier, that to me, the most important thing is how you carry yourself in a suit. And that makes it more beautiful, more attractive than otherwise. So I definitely prefer the Italians in that sense, because even when I was walking around in a suit, like Italian people were like, "Oh, bella," and like they were just like, but genuine, right? Genuine, like, "Oh my God, it's really nice."
And in France, it was, "Oh, not again."
Well, no, they just ignore you.
Oh, okay.
Or they just look from you. You know, like it's just not the culture of actually giving a compliment or carrying yourself. It's just a different way of carrying
Wait
yourself.
a minute, because in Paris there's this not in the street trend. So you shouldn't compliment a woman in the street.
Yes. No.
Yeah, it's very wrongly seen if you even talk. But I would say, you know...
But I noticed that in Sweden, actually, men compliment my outfits more often than women.
Yeah, but but that's different. It's from a female perspective or male perspective. Would you go to a woman and tell her, "I love the way you dress"? Because
I mean, I would.
Yeah, exactly.
Often, but,
you would. But
maybe they would think that it's some kind of, I don't know, I want to rag her or something.
Yeah, but that's a way of flirting when you break this.
Exactly.
Definitely. So.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I would say Italian for sure, just because of how. But I think again that's very cultural in how they carry themselves and how they own who they are and how they move.
Yeah, they're very genuine.
Exactly.
They're less stiff than English.
Exactly, and for me, that's the number one thing of elegance and of character anyway, because you can. I mean, somebody can be extremely well dressed and also in life can talk very well and but. Character is what makes someone stand out or not to me. You can be amazingly well dressed and stuff, but if your character is not authentic, then for me that doesn't look good.
It's not very attractive.
It doesn't matter what you have on. So in that sense, Italians are just so much more authentic. So I would definitely say Italian.
That might also come from your background, because when people are thinking that when they don't know about suit, they're always thinking about the suit that are very British, actually.
Yes, for sure.
And when they start being more advanced, they learn about the Italian way.
Yeah.
And then they are more into this Italian thing.
Yeah.
But the way you feel someone is the attitude that is brought by the suiting or being dressed up might also be influenced by the background, because
absolutely.
I'm also coming from this more Mediterranean culture, so I also feel that it's a bit more genuine.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe if you are more Nordic, maybe you feel that it's better to have this stiff attitude.
So that's why I find those questions extremely interesting. But
they tell a lot about you more than the way things should be.
Absolutely, right? Because we all look at people and look at life and cultures from our own references and where we come from. So obviously, I would be more. I would like something better than somebody else from, for example, from the north or from Iceland, for example, that is really not used to seeing like the Italian hospitality as something very genuine and authentic, but they would see it as something like, oh my God, too much, so they might prefer, the English or, but if you ask me as just Emma Jacomet, then I would definitely, because I'm also extremely extrovert.
Yeah.
And that I really
we
value.
Didn't notice.
No.
Even me, I look super Swedish today in comparison to you.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But we would like to have details, because we have you here because we are two single men. We're going on dates, and we would like you to tell us.
I love those questions.
What is like the total ick when you meet a guy and he comes on a date with something like, okay, we said a lot about skinny jeans.
Yes,
I don't think we need to cover it anymore.
No.
Because I think just something 100%.
Yes, if it's your first episode, guys, ick. That's it. Okay, go on.
Yeah. So, is there something that is totally a no-no?
No. I mean, no.
A part of skinny jeans.
Yeah, okay.
With some trends that, okay, you've been here in Stockholm, I guess that you've seen some men. And do you think that men here are wearing something maybe too often that is not maybe...
Oh, there's a trend these days.
Yeah.
Is there?
I'd say the open shoes, like not flip-flops necessarily, but with...
socks.
Exactly, with socks. Exactly.
No, and slides with short socks.
Okay, no, yeah. So that's I've not noticed, but that gives me the ick to imagine.
Yeah.
But
I mean Nike slides.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, to answer your question, what would give me the ick? Obviously, okay, skinny jeans. Again, I don't want to be mean to anyone who actually, or to men who like skinny jeans, because I mean, maybe you wear it in a way that is really good for you, but what I've seen so far was not my thing.
Unless you are a rocker, part of a band, and you are on stage with that.
Exactly.
You don't.
Obvious. Yeah, exactly. So it's about like
it's context.
Yeah, it's context as well. So I don't want to but for me personally, what I like and what my sensitivity lies. What would give me the ick? Well, I mean, whatever you just described about this new trend in Sweden, I'm not really sure about, honestly.
I mean, Birkenstocks, they are popular all over the world.
Yeah, no,
but with socks.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. But for me, what would give me the ick again is someone trying too hard or not enough.
Yeah.
So if you go on a date, obviously you want to dress nice, right? But if you, in your everyday life, don't wear suits or don't wear like nice trousers, nice jackets and
if
stuff.
It's not you.
Never happen. No, I'm not wearing suits.
No, ever. No, never. Look at him. Extremely casual.
No, guys, you need to just watch our podcast on YouTube and Spotify because there is a video if you don't know.
Yeah.
So what would give me the ick is, for example, a man that would come in like, let's say, a 3-piece suit, but he never wears a suit normally.
And if he's wearing a bow tie.
Yeah, like I'm like, because in that moment you will see that man is just not comfortable in what he's wearing. He's trying so hard.
Maybe he's just stressed because he likes the girl.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always stressed on all my dates.
Yeah, well, there you go. But I would.
You should have learned by now.
Yes. Have you learned anything?
Yeah, that it's easier. Actually, I read something on internet recently that you have 60% more success rate when you take a drink before date.
That's a Polish.
Okay, guys, I don't know how it is about the rules on YouTube, but the abuse of alcohol is bad for health. So it's not. He's not.
Yeah,
he's Polish, so he thinks that alcohol will solve all problems.
They solve they resolve the marriage. Yeah, I mean it's a translation from Polish. Because
be alcoholic, guys.
Solve problems.
That will solve all your problems.
In your marriage, have an
solve problems and to split in a marriage is the same word in Polish. So
but basically it's to be chill. So you can be chill without alcohol.
Yeah.
Yes. No, but actually, I mean, actually, if you take what you just said and what you said just before, taking a drink before a date, meaning that you actually kind of relax.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, you're yourself.
Yeah.
What gives me the ick?
And even you talk better in different languages.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So for me, the ick in terms of menswear would be a guy that dresses in a way that is just not him.
Yeah.
So if your way of dressing is not wearing suits at all normally, or just to go to your once a 2-month meetings with your associates or whatever, I will see that right away. Because what I think, but then again, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I feel like women also can feel that and sense that extremely fast, that if you are not genuine and if you're not completely you don't move the right way, you're pretending. Thank you.
Yeah, we even had an episode about that, so we covered that subject.
Exactly. And I think that's the major ick.
Another question, because
I love this.
let's get back to your dad, because it's just so interesting. Are there any strong opinions your dad has about style that you completely disagree with? Is there anything like that?
I would love to give you that tea, but no.
I'm
so sorry. No.
Why? That's not, and I would say that's not in the spirit of what your father is transmitting. Also,
no,
because your father is educating, but he's never placing himself against things.
Exactly. So. I think no, exactly. I think that's a brilliant question for that matter, because my dad, and that's how he raised me. Period, but also how I arrived in our world is that he didn't tell me what I could and couldn't do. And my dad, in how he is with me, but and how I can see him with people, and also with his YouTube channel and everything. Obviously, there are a lot of rules and there are a lot of things that are so important to know. And it's just about heritage, and it's about respect, the respect of craftsmanship and of the art of the movement, du geste.
The gesture.
The gesture, the art of the gesture, and what is behind what you're purchasing and everything, and the heritage and the traditions. I don't have anything that he thinks is great and I think is like a no-go, just also because of how he raised me in that you are you, and you interpret and you live the sartorial style and suits and everything the way you want to, and there is no I couldn't judge what somebody else finds absolutely gorgeous,
because that's what your father has always brought behind all the knowledge he has brought, and that's probably also your heritage, because you are still learning many things, and it's difficult to be as knowledgeable as your father.
Absolutely.
But what he's bringing is and you were talking about educating people, but it's like he's talking a lot about beauty, about manners, and all those things. They are values.
For me, that is one thing. Actually, coming back to what you told me earlier, to what you asked me earlier, what would give me the major ick is the lack of elegance and the lack of manners in a man. So you can be dressed.
We were talking about this privately yesterday, I think, about some manners between men.
Absolutely.
In different cultures.
Absolutely. And for me, that is probably the number one thing, to be very honest. And that is indeed what my dad is talking about a lot, about being a gentleman. And being a gentleman for me it is so much more than how you dress. Yeah. It's just genuinely, are you a gentleman? Are you yourself a gentleman?
Yeah,
and it has to do with manners. It has to do with
values. What are your values in life?
Yeah, your values and how you treat someone else. Not only a woman, but also just people in general. Yeah. How do you treat them?
This is actually something that I read about, how to spot some narcissists or psychopaths on a date.
Absolutely.
How they treat a server, a taxi driver.
Absolutely.
People.
And how they talk about their ex also. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
You can learn a lot about someone, how he talks about people he was connected to in the past.
Yes,
if he can talk in a so wrong way, and it goes both ways, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Male and female. If you can talk so wrong about I mean, if you're separated with someone, it's because obviously it was not going well.
Yeah.
But the way you behave then and the way you talk about those people tells
it's about accountability, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's about accountability, about self-reflection. So obviously, what you say indeed is that how you talk about someone, and if we come back to being a gentleman, is about how you talk about people when they're not here. Yeah. How you talk about your friends when they're not here, how you talk about your woman, for example, when she's not here. How, for example, I would talk about my father if he's not here. I'd go to war if anybody says anything about my dad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just about how you the accountability of your own part when you're talking about a relationship. Your responsibility. Obviously, you can be in. A lot of people have been in abusive relationships. And you absolutely should be loud with people around you about what you've been through, for sure. But there is a certain level of self-reflection and of not putting everything on someone else. Yeah. And that shows character. Yeah. At the moment you can have self-reflection, and then that, to me, that shows a great deal about, like, if we're talking about a man, then a man that has that knows himself well enough to say, okay, I was wrong on this, I was wrong on that, I'm trying to be better, this is where I am right now. That for me is so much more attractive than someone.
It's where you place your ego.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about ego and how you carry yourself.
It's not about destroying ego, because we are hearing a lot that ego is wrong by default, and I would say no, ego can drive you far, but it's where you place it.
Yeah, and it's also it can protect you in a way, you know, like you're protecting yourself as well. And again, it has nothing to do with not being able to say you were a victim of abuse, for example, in a bad relationship.
Being a victim is never good.
No, but you can say that you were a victim because actually it makes you vulnerability also makes you strong as a man, to be able to say that really hurt me, and you know, like that was really painful for me, and it was a really hard experience, but what you do with it is what makes your character, to me. Yeah. So you acknowledging the fact that you have pain, that you cry, that you know, like this for me is extremely masculine. It's one of the things that's the most masculine, I think, vulnerability. But the biggest difference, and you see that in first dates and stuff like that, is what you do with it. And that shows me if you're a gentleman or not, if you have the right character or not, is your accountability. How you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, what are we going to do about this? Are we going to ignore this? Are we going to try to distract ourselves? Or are we going to just look at ourselves in the mirror?
But so, being a gentleman, is it just reserved to men? Or is it... because we're saying gentlemen as if it was only a rule for men? Can it be applied to women as well? Can women be a gentleman in that regard?
I think then we're talking about masculinity and femininity, and I think those are two things that are in both men.
Be a lady more, I would say. To be a lady, I would say.
Yeah, to be a lady.
But what is to be a lady then? Because those values that we give to men in gentleman way can be applied to any human being.
This is one of my favorite things to talk about, guys. I love that. But then we're talking about femininity and masculinity, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
And that for me is so your question was, can a woman be masculine in that way, you know? I think society has made very, very masculine women as well, because we have to be also strong in that sense to also protect ourselves. But that again, and I don't want to say this as this is the truth, right, guys? Like this is my truth. This is what I think personally. These are my values. But you may disagree completely. But to me, yes, absolutely, a woman can have that as well. And I think it's also, especially as a single woman, it protects you as well to have that kind of masculinity, to have that kind of, like to protect yourself and protect your ego and protect all of this and just protect yourself, for sure. But if we're talking about masculinity and femininity, I think masculine and feminine need each other to grow.
Of course.
Again, I'm not saying that man and woman. I'm not talking about that kind of. I'm just talking about that the masculine needs the feminine and the feminine needs the masculine. And I think that would be that it's a beautiful.
We were complementary.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So for me, for example, if I'm just bringing it back to me, Emma Jacomet,
please do.
If I'm bringing it just back to me, for me to be completely in my feminine energy, then I need someone that is so in their masculine energy. And that's, again, we can talk about what is really masculinity, but that's a whole other subject. But their masculine energy, so that I can be safe enough to be feminine.
Yeah.
To be in the more like, the nurturing and everything. And again, it doesn't mean women only. Men can also be nurturing, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not even, But I mean, to be feminine, you need to have a strong masculine.
Yeah.
So,
And I was asking this because we are talking in masculinity, and this is the topic that we are often talking about, but for once we have a woman, so it's even more interesting, and we can go deeper in that. There is, in masculinity, we often think about virility, and that's the thing, being viril, and I'm not sure about the translation in English, but it is...
Do you know
manly, it would be, or manhood.
Okay, what it is viril in...
But that's the thing, because the
manly.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It doesn't really work in English, because manly means being a man, but virility in French is derived from another meaning, which means standing straight.
Yeah.
And everyone, whether you're a man or a woman, can stand straight, can be straight in front of everything that happens to you.
Absolutely. Yes.
You can be a woman is like be a man.
Exactly. Exactly. But there is a very big, something that gives me the ick a lot. The be a man. What do you mean be a man? Man up. What do you actually mean? Right? Because so virility in French indeed has a lot to do with being strong, being. But masculinity, masculinity is also, like I said before, it's about also self-reflection. It's about acknowledging your emotions as well, about acknowledging a lot of things, actually. For me, that's masculinity. If you can actually have this self-reflection, acknowledge what you've been through, what you're going through, what your emotions are, and what you're going to do with it. For me, that's masculinity. So it has nothing to do with whether or not you cry, whether or not you can strangle an alligator with your bare hands. That has nothing to do with how much money you make.
That has nothing to do with clothes.
It has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with how much money you make.
So we are talking about clothes for nothing.
No clothes. How much money you make. I said that doesn't matter at all. Masculinity for me, so virility, masculinity. Is and again, well, now we're talking about men and women. Obviously, I do believe that can also apply to same sex. It can apply to that, absolutely. But now, I just want to say that because I don't want to offend anybody. But for the sake of what we're just talking about now, about men and women, and in my case, for me, I feel like. If you're talking about a man that is, in that sense, manly, virility it can be a very destructive kind of word. Man up, be a man, all of that can be extremely destructive to the masculine. Why? Because then you feed into what the society think, like the very old society think of what a man should be, like strong and blah, 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 emotionless and stuff. You've heard that a lot, right? Mm-hmm. No, to me, what actual masculinity is, and you see that on first dates, you see that, is the authenticity of a man. The ability to recognize everything, to recognize what you're going through, to recognize you, because men have emotions as well. That's me being a pedagogue, that's me being an educator. Men have emotions as well. Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Animals can have emotions,
yes,
so
right.
men can.
Absolutely. And that's completely okay. to have, to acknowledge, to take in, to focus on, to release, that is completely okay. The masculine, what we need as feminines, the feminine energy, to be able to be feminine in this world, because we have built so many very masculine women, and I'm a bit one of them, to be very honest.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Oh my God! As a single woman,
you feel that it brings up your masculinity.
Oh.
Guys,
but that's my question about what, and then you will be able to intervene.
We need to wrap it up because we cannot talk infinity.
One last on menswear and women's wear. Because maybe your masculinity also makes you like to dress up a bit more manly. But if you wanted to have your feminine attribute really put having the advantage of them, would you rather do that in a men's suit, even though it's gonna be adapted to you and to your shapes, or this little black dress that you mentioned before?
That's a very good question. Actually, I think that if it's, I think it can be extremely feminine. Like a suit can be extremely feminine if it's well cut, if it's well made. That could be really beautiful. So, and it can be very feminine.
Yeah.
Although I'm Parisian, so a little black dress, I don't know if it will always win the race, but it might.
Yeah.
But a very well cut suit for women's attribute can actually be extremely feminine, but it has to be
superbly cut.
Yes. Well, it has to be, the prototypes have to be made for women as well.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we miss a lot. You know, it's all the prototypes are made for men a lot, and then we kind of tweak them for women. But if you go from women's kind bodies, then that would be a beautiful evolution of our sartorial world. Yeah, for sure. It can be very feminine. Absolutely.
Right. So exactly what we thought would happen is that two French people talk too much. And Michał is like hating us.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we just went to different subjects and...
okay, wait, do you have any other questions?
I was just thinking that I need to edit it later. so it
you were
has
seeing all the hours of editing.
kind of substance.
I'm going to say something also. So going back to my father, I am exactly like my father. I never prepare anything. My dad often doesn't either. We can talk. We can talk. We can go. Yeah, we can absolutely talk, and that's very French. That's extremely French. We can just.
He's always saying that I'm talking too much, but then we met you.
Oh yeah. No, I mean that's great. But you know, actually, that's a very beautiful thing. Proust. I'm going to bring in Proust. Okay.
Please do.
Oh yeah. You know Proust, La Recherche du Temps Perdu. So Proust
it's a French writer.
It's a philosopher. I mean, it's one of the. I mean, it's
one of the greatest of the last century.
Yes.
Proust and Céline, maybe.
Yeah, Proust is. And he talked about that, and actually, my father talked about this not long ago. You can digress. Digressing is one of the most beautiful thing there is. That's why we love Proust. That's why we love philosophy, right? You digress. You continue.
Yeah,
but
we just pronounce it differently. Prost.
Prost.
I guess.
Yeah, Prost. Well, there you go. But the key is to know where you started. So you kind of like put pause in your mind, which is what I do a lot. So you put pause on your mind as to where the question started. You can digress all you want, and then you say, okay, back to your question. And then that's...
No, but you are great with this.
That's how philosophy is kind of built.
But
and
that's what we love to do. Sitting on a cafe and making the word right is what we do best.
Exactly. So, and that's what my father was indeed talking about, that digressing is wonderful as long as you know how to come back.
Yeah, that's true. Let's come back then.
Let's come back. Yes.
Looking at the hours, you need to place a meme on his head. You know, like with this all this
you need to follow French
geometry
people.
stuff appearing in the back of your head.
The digressing, we will digress and come back, but you need to
This podcast
because
will
I'm
be named
always the one that
Emma.
comes back. And you're just going somewhere.
No, we were back, but you didn't notice.
Yeah.
All right. Are we wrapping, or do you want that we talk 10 more minutes about politics?
No, we're wrapping. Yeah.
He's like, you don't have any other questions?
No, I had all the questions.
The French beat the Polish.
Yeah.
He cannot handle it.
We are philosophers.
Cannot wait that we are going on a journey in Paris, and we are starting talking with other influencers and with other people in this, and it's gonna be like, guys, you have 10 minutes max. That's it.
But I mean, you're also more a bit more mathematical or more.
No, it needs to have some structure.
Exactly.
And
I
need to build this structure later.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
The French podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The French episode.
Guys, that was a wrap. We covered even dating, as always.
Always.
As almost always. No, like some women stuff, some menswear stuff, some growing up with a Parisian gentleman. That was pretty interesting for me, how it was. But because, in today's world, we don't have this figures, actually. A lot of guys, they don't even know how to tie a tie. Yeah. And you had someone that knew all of it, but you're a girl, so your dad couldn't even give those advices to a guy. So so now we have a girl in a suit.
Yeah.
Can I disclaim something? This is a big secret.
You don't know how to tie.
I don't know.
No, we will not
say that.
We will not tell anyone.
Just you know why? Because this is so. I know it can sound so crazy. But I love when someone ties a tie for me. I think it's just the sweetest thing. So when I go to my dad, I'm like, Papa, can you do it for me? Or Sonia, can you do it for me? Or a friend does it for me.
Even this reel on Instagram, you have it.
Yes, exactly. I find it such... So, no, I don't necessarily... I mean, I could do it, but I don't necessarily want to... Because I love when someone does it for me.
Yeah, that's nice.
The daughter of Parisian gentleman does not know how to...